Now, Summer Davos opens in China's Dalian as war risk rewrites the growth story. Over 1,700 leaders from as many as 90-plus nations are in Dalian this week for the World Economic Forum's Summer Davos, but the mood is far grimmer than the glossy branding suggests. The headline number tells a story. The IMF's reference forecast puts 2026 global growth at just 3.1%, which is down sharply from the 3.4% trajectory that was expected before February. The reason is not trade wars anymore, but the real wars. The closing of the Strait of Hormuz and the serious damage to critical energy facilities across West Asia region have raised the very prospect of a major energy crisis. That's the IMF's own language used in the month of April, and the disruption has now run nearly 4 months. The market signals back it up while crude prices have dropped sharply to below $80 per barrel. Brent had emerged rather averaged under $68 a barrel last year. Also, crude prices averaged above $105 during the war and following months, and the producers since then have cut output by more than 11 million barrels a day compared to pre-conflict levels. Diesel, jet fuel, fertilizer and even helium prices are all elevated, a stagflation cocktail few central banks are prepared for. This is the backdrop Dalian cannot talk around. China is using the stage to push its newly launched 15th five-year plan, leaning into new quality productive forces, semiconductors, clean energy and biotech as Beijing's answer to fragmenting trade order. Around 11% of world trade has already been hit by tariff actions since 2025. And the World Trade Organization sees goods trade growth story nearly half this year. The forum's own framing, the 5 questions on trade, China's trajectory, AI adoption, jobs and energy reads less like blue sky futurism and more like crisis management with an innovation veneer. With nearly 40% of global jobs exposed to AI disruption and energy security now a live war risk, Summer Davos 2026 is not really about scaling innovation. It is rather about whether economies can actually absorb shocks faster than they are arriving. Our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur has sent us this report from Dalian in China.
There are 1,500 plus entrepreneurs, private sector players, heads of state and other important officials talking about various aspects here at the annual meeting of the new champions, which is also known as the Summer Davos. Now, the 3-day event is unfolding in China's port city of Dalian, and it has 5 main themes, but 2 in particular are under main focus. One is trade and the other is energy. Both of these sectors, especially the latter, have been influenced a lot and impacted massively by the West Asia war and the delicate negotiations going on between Iran and the US. Now, the energy sector across the world and those impacted by it have been talking about the alternatives that are available or the new course of action that various stakeholders will have to undertake, especially after months of uncertainty and hostility in West Asia's Strait of Hormuz, a key maritime passage, the blockade of which has impacted billions of lives all over the world. And it has opened up a whole new conversation among several key players present here in Dalian who are now discussing and talking about what are the other avenues that are available, what kind of landscape shift does trade and energy security now see for the entire world, especially for a lot of growing economies and developing economies like China and India, both who are big players in South Asia. Now, this entire conversation, of course, will continue to unfold over the next 2 days. But the war and the negotiations being carried out thousands of miles away still have an impact on this critical summit. With video journalist Joy, this is Dharamjot Kaur from Dalian for WION World is One.